You search for the scent of your prey, and then you hunt them down.
It keeps me sharp, where I gotta be.
In a world where violence is wholesale,
The bank is worth the risk. You're on.
there's a saga waiting to unfold.
If I'm there and I gotta put you away, you are going down. You will not get in my way for a second.
Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer. Heat, a Michael Mann film.
Joining me today is Cole and Taylor, our reoccurring guests on the Should You Watch This podcast.
Yes. Our contract has been extended for another month. But as we're independent contractors, it's up in the air.
We gotta keep performing every week, or it's just not gonna happen.
We got to score on those performance reviews. Otherwise, we're going to get replaced by his children.
We're all
there's a lot of unemployed people out there.
We can't lose this job.
Yeah, no.
This is the first time we've come together and using actual real mics. So it should be a better experience for anyone who the 12 listeners who are listening.
Higher quality.
This time we're using our whole ass.
Don't worry. One of us will become famous for some reason, and then they'll find this when they dox us and ruin our lives.
Anyway,
What do you mean ruin?
Well,
this pick was my pick, and it's Heat. What's the year? Oh,
1995, released by Warner Brothers Studios, directed and written by Michael Mann himself, based on the 1991 film L.A. Takedown, I believe.
wasn't that like a TV movie?
Yeah, it was like an hour-and-a-half TV movie.
So the description in IMDb is a group of professional bank robbers start to feel the heat from police when they unknowingly leave a clue at their latest heist, which is pretty damning. Like the clue, that the clue is slick. That's the clue.
yeah.
Right?
Well,
What else would it be?
I mean, the dead bodies.
well, yeah, there are some dead bodies.
few people, one or two people get killed. They take a dirt nap in this film.
Oh, a lot of people take dirt naps. So I failed to look up the body count, but I'm sure it's got to be in the 20s.
I think it was 71.
71? No.
That seems high.
Because of the bank shootout. Like, they count, like, people getting bystander. They see people that fall down.
Let's see. I'm looking it up. Death count.
I love the idea of
in
a
Heat.
professional thief. It's like, well, what do you mean a professional thief? They're just good at it.
That's true. I mean,
It's like, no one's paying them. Like, they didn't go to school and get a certificate.
depends on, if you get a job with the government, you're basically doing just that. Could be
It's
in the
not
IRS.
true.
Could be
What
the
is this?
CIA.
What
Could
is
be the
this?
IRS. You're a thief either way. Either way, you're robbing people of their money.
Well,
Okay, so-
taxation is theft podcast now.
Hey, I'm not trying to step on anybody else's toes.
It's like, I am a sovereign citizen.
Yeah.
This
I'm not subject to the laws.
I was right. 23.
That sounds about right.
I'm trying to think of
There's
what.
quite a few cops that get,
So this breaks it down into character kills, the corpse breakdown. This is pretty in depth. So this says, by the way, spoiler alert.
I'm thinking
people die in this?
I'm thinking of John Wick. That's where I got 71 from.
Yeah, that sounds right for that movie.
Yeah, John Wick
that's,
is
that's
way higher.
what came to mind for some reason.
So Robert De Niro has 9 kills. Val Kilmer has 5 kills. Tom Sizemore has 4. Waingro, played by Kevin Gage, has 3. Al Pacino has 2. And
Yeah, that sounds
there's
right.
more deaths, obviously, but based on the character, and so.
Yes, we're referencing the 1995 film Heat, starring Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, and other likes as Ashley Judd, Hank Azaria, Val Kilmer, John Voight. Quite a few people in this film.
There's an insane amount of people in this film.
Natalie Portman at probably 10 years old at the time.
I just barely finished a podcast, the Rewatchables with Bill Simmons, which is an awesome podcast. You should check it out.
What is this recommending other podcasts?
I'm just trying to give some love to other
He's trying to spread the crumbs to all the pigeons in the park, just wanting to bite.
But they reviewed Heat multiple times, and it just made me really want to watch this. So that's why I picked this.
My favorite film of all time, tied with Collateral. It's and Zodiac between the three.
Do you just want to move to LA, man? Is that what this is about?
I love LA. Well, it's because it's where the beach is. And
you just want to move there?
And I was born in Palo Alto, so I want to go back to my native home.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause
I thought LA was shot really well in this movie, but I think Collateral was way better.
yeah,
Well-
I'd say it's flashier, but it's also because it's at night at all times. Like, it's
Well,
from the car.
Probably had different cameras,
Collateral is
too.
all digital handheld cameras, whereas Heat,
Yeah.
they, bigger 35 millimeter film stuff. But with just like Collateral, Heat, they didn't use any sound stages. They filmed everything on set because Michael Mann doesn't like being in the studio or constructing sets. He just likes being on
Why do
location.
people
a lot
live in
more.
LA? It looks terrible.
I wondered about the sound design in the shootout, but I
So-
looked that up and it's just the echoing of the buildings.
Well, that's so when they first shot it. The funny thing is they didn't like tell other people in the area that they were shooting the scene that day on a Sunday. So there was like people out eating at restaurants outdoors, and they hear the gunshots starting to go, and people like ran inside thinking something serious was going on. But they originally edited over the original gunshots. But then when Michael Mann heard it, he didn't like the sound of it and wanted to go with the real. Like just real world situation. So that's what you're hearing between the skyscrapers is all the bullets like echoing off as they're firing.
It sounds it's really cool. If you have a sound system, you should definitely watch it with it.
It's seriously one of the best, that and the shootout in the Korean nightclub in Collateral, like it's one of the best like action scenes, and it just sucks you in the whole time. You don't know if like 30 seconds went by or 10 minutes because you're watching everyone duke it out with each other in the streets with automatic rifles.
Yeah, it was really cool. That's the first time that you felt the shootout.
Oh yeah, no,
because of the sound.
Yeah, it really makes you get your blood pumping just listening to how loud it is.
So
they have CG muzzle flashes in like movies. It's absurd.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I know.
It's just disgraceful.
What do you mean?
Like where
They
the flash at the end of the gun
flashes.
is not even like a blank. It's pure CG. Like
Oh yeah, just
pure
it's
CG
It's
effect.
the same way when they shoot somebody and they go flying backwards in the glass. When in real life the body just crumples.
Yeah, but the other one's better.
True. I mean, it's just to add.
I'm saying that a CG muzzle flash looks fake and stupid.
Oh, I know it totally does.
Yeah. Whereas,
but they do it a lot
glass looks
in
great.
John Wick. Like that's all it is CGI muzzle flashes. They broke it down, and there's a YouTube.
I could not tell you that.
No, they do.
Wasn't it just gas pistols that make the slide go back, but they don't fire anything? They make pellet guns.
and they add the flash to his face, and they add it's
all Photoshop.
Never mind.
now.
John Wick is bad. Why'd you have to ruin that?
I'm sorry. John Wick is really good. It's one of my favorite movies.
We're gonna have. Was it Bill and Ted 3 this year, and then we've got Matrix 4.
We're not getting any movies this year.
We will.
No.
So, well, I'll explain
And
later.
I'm not going through TSA checkpoint to go see a movie either.
Well,
Take my temperature.
I'll explain
No.
later, but they're going to have to show films this year. Otherwise, there's going to be dire consequences for everybody.
Well, okay. Well, let's break this down a little bit. So, movies rated R.
Violence and language.
It's 2 hours and 50 minutes at least. And I don't know. Is there a director's cut? Or
Not that I ever saw come out, unless I haven't checked in a while, but I was looking.
What would it need? I don't like. That's like one of the things. It's like it doesn't feel like.
But I mean, with something like this, I can imagine it's probably 2 or 3 random scenes, even if they threw them in.
Yeah,
that
it's just like it
probably
doesn't add anything. Redundant.
It killed the flow, so they got rid of them. I can't imagine there was a
I
lot
kind of-
left out.
you guys probably don't agree with me, but I think the Natalie Portman storyline could be cut out.
It's kind of
Could.
it could, but in theory,
But it's what kind of closes up his family arc.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
more to show if he.
Like if without that, there's no reason for it to change other than like the simple one note of like, well, look at this guy. He's not a great husband, and his wife's starting to hate him.
That's part of it. He doesn't realize that his wife is going to go out and see other dudes, but on the other hand, he doesn't notice that the girl's so messed up because her biological father, isn't there for her, but then he's not there for her, and it just makes it all the worse for her. And so then it's kind of culminating at the end where his family's falling apart, but he was able, to do
He
something for
doesn't
Natalie
care about
Portman.
that, man. He's out there to catch the sickos.
Well, yeah,
He's a much better cop than Dirty Harry, I must say.
Well,
I don't know.
He's a lot-
man.
he's a
I
lot-
really like Dirty Harry.
he's a lot louder and more in your face than Dirty Harry. I don't think Dirty Harry raises his voice.
Well, he's like
above
actually working with people instead of just saying like, "Why don't you let me kill the sickos?"
just blowing them away.
Would
Just
you
driving
agree
a
that
police
this
car
is
into a
the
liquor
start of him parodying himself?
I mean, probably. Like, he's really funny in it.
It's
like, his character, like,
But I mean,
whenever he's like trying to intimidate people or just, just freaks out and shouts lines,
I mean,
always amazing.
when
every
he's
time.
singing to that guy,
Yeah,
that
like,
song
when he's
about
like,
Phoenix
what does he
or
say?
whatever.
Like, show me what you got, or like, give me what you got.
what do we got? What do we got?
Show me what you got.
Does he say it twice?
Oh no, yeah. When he goes to the
When he's
chop
like,
shop.
when he's like telling him, like,
He's in the
tell him-
chop shop.
He's like,
he's banging on the table. What do you got? But I mean,
And then he's looking under the table for his brother
well, no,
and
that's.
stuff.
I mean, there's a joke. There's this old show called The Critic that used to always make fun of him, and so there was what was the one Hoo Ha, The Scent of a Woman, where he's always
Yeah,
"Oh,
saying
Son
Hoo
of
Ha.
a Woman.
There's
wow, yeah.
they make fun of it, and they do Scent of a Woman too, and he's talking to Charlie about how he's going to kill himself, and he's all, "You're going to miss my hoo-ha and my blind driving and my wild shenanigans and my hoo-ha," and Charlie's like, "Just do it already. I'm so sick of this crap." But they make fun of it all the time because, I mean, Scent of a Woman, and it was like a whole lot of films back in the day where he was just over the top. So I think
I don't know. Like, his shouting is just entertaining. Like,
It's
I don't know what
so
it is. Like,
good.
The Irishman, like, that was like one of the greatest things in that movie.
I
it's
agree.
Just him just going blind rage screaming like at people.
I mean,
It's so
part
funny.
of it is it turns a boring conversation into something that grabs your attention when you start screaming. Because
Yeah.
otherwise they're sitting there talking
It's
about
so funny.
But I didn't think De Niro overacted in this. Like,
No, he
Yeah,
actually
he was-
plays really pretty straight. Like, he's.
I think this is one of his best ones. He's way more mellow. But
I mean,
think
I
it's-
don't know that Al Pacino's really overacting in this, like,
I
necessarily.
mean, there's a
Well, he's
couple
not.
moments.
because he only really does that like when he's like dealing with people like on the job, so it's kind of like a bad cop persona kind
Well,
of
he's
deal.
he's just trying to get their attention.
Yeah, like,
focus on him.
like every time he did it, it was usually like, yeah, I don't know.
I loved how he swore and used the F word. He like enunciates it really well. Like he adds the R on the end
half the time, I know. Half the time, I'm waiting for his eyeballs to pop out of his head when he gets all
when he
manic,
gets all crazy.
like Graves' disease.
So what's the most quotable line in this show?
the action is the heat for sure. Like
Yeah,
for me,
it's
like
so good.
or the action
It's-
is the juice.
I mean,
The accent is
That one's really good.
if you talk to anybody about the movie, it's always going to be that diner scene, which is why that diner became so popular. It's that conversation. Just,
Yeah, but there's no quote from that I could pull.
well, no, like don't take down scores.
Yeah, okay.
What about I'm alone but not lonely?
Yeah, no, that one I just thought was great for like just like
But-
failure people romantically.
The diner works great though because the whole conversation about how you have to, if you could turn a corner and I see you as is there nothing that you can't walk out on in 30 seconds?
Yeah, no, I'm
30
not putting this
seconds,
on a poster.
But I mean, it feeds later on to the the
Yeah,
final
no,
scene
I'm not
with De
saying
Niro.
it's not a good scene. I'm just saying it's not a good quote.
But yeah.
The great ass quote would be
That's
probably one of the
really
bigger
awesome.
ones. Like I've seen that clip all over the place. Got a great ass.
Supposedly that was ad libbed, and Hank Azaria.
I
didn't know he was
believe
gonna
it.
Do it.
That's very much.
So it was like everyone got a genuine like shocked face because they didn't realize he was just gonna like go crazy like he usually
go off
does.
the cuff.
Hoo ha!
all right. Taylor, what kind of rating do you give this?
Oh yeah, billion trillion stars. It's an all timer. Like it's like I will say that like watching it, knowing that it came from like a TV show or like a TV
Yeah, that is
pilot
really
he was trying to
interesting.
makes actually a lot more sense because there are so many plot threads in this. Like there's like so much detail that you just would not expect to put in a movie like this.
Yeah.
Well, and so afterwards, I think like 10 years later, I can't remember when it premiered, but they had a show on USA that was called Robbery Homicide Division that was supposed to be like kind of a television sequel or in the style of Heat, but in television style. And Tom Sizemore was the lead detective, and I can't remember who else was in it, but it only lasted like half of a season or one season or something like that because the ratings were really low, but it was really good. It was kind of the same like LA City vibe, like grunge, back
Was that
alley,
before or
things like
after
that.
his heroin issues?
It was right before. I think it was because then I remember a few years later was when he went off the deep end and he was on the cover of National Enquirer all the time and like wearing a Speedo and wife beater because he was just gone.
He's still around, man. He's still rocking.
I read that De Niro helped Tom Sizemore get sober. It says in here that De Niro told Sizemore he needed to stop using heroin and drove him to his private plane in order to get him the help he needed. It was magical, Sizemore told The Independent. I watched this guy in the dark when I was 14 and wondered who he was. And here he is. I'm in his car and he's driving me to the airport. He's telling me that the gig is up. He's telling me I'm a wonderful actor, that he's not going to let me die. I love you, he told me, like you're my own son. I don't want to go, but I couldn't say no to him. Can you imagine De Niro like rescuing you and like having to not say no to him?
Like, I gotta do it, man. He's like,
Well, yeah,
so
I mean,
cool.
he's scary as
crazy.
Neil McCauley. If he's always that intense, I'd do whatever he wanted
Yeah.
to do. He could talk me into a bank robbery.
I thought it was interesting too. You brought it up during the movie, Cole, about how the home where Trejo, spoiler, he dies. The owners pulled up the carpet and found the fake blood stains that are still there.
You should re-edit that and say there's a scene involving Trejo.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, you can say it and edit it in later, but oh well. Live and learn.
All right, cut.
Sorry.
And then restart it.
There's a scene involving Trejo.
Yeah, there's a scene involving one
And there's-
Daniel Trejo.
and
Whose character is named Trejo.
his character is named Trejo.
Trejo as Trejo.
All right, sorry. I think I cut you off, Taylor. What else would you say about it, based on your trillion stars?
It's
I mean, like it's entertaining, like from like multiple angles. Like it's really like it's two simultaneous movies. Like it has like the same scenes.
I
with
would say
both
there's
groups.
like 3 movies going on.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, hey, these thieves are all hanging out, just a bunch of guys being dudes, hanging out, having fun, and then it shows like the cops and his team doing the same thing. But like the whole.
cops and robbers aren't that much different
Yeah,
from
I
each
know. It's
other.
like they're saying, but like there's like a real entertaining, like almost like fugitive, like entertainment of like watching the law enforcement go after them. You know, doing all these
Yeah.
pursuing
Cat
all
and
these
mouse
different-
game.
Yeah, like
Cops versus
pretty much
robbers.
Cat and mouse. It's like it's pretty effective at that. You're not just like hoping like
It doesn't have the standard cops robbers kind of feel to it. Like it actually gives you a reason to care about the characters and like
that's what I'm saying. Like there's like 1,000 like the whole like relationship that De Niro has with that girl. Like it's like why would you even put that in there normally? Like,
but that's what I like about it
for
though.
certain things. But
I mean, normally you just get like the cop and the robber, but this movie, like almost all the other side characters have backstories to them. Or you know a little bit about
really
them. So
that's what I'm saying. Like the whole TV thing is like I feel like that would never have happened in like an actual movie.
No.
This would be a 2-hour-long movie.
Yeah.
it's like probably Al Pacino wouldn't be married.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like they would have cut a lot of that stuff out.
The generic face-off where you only care about the main 2 characters and everybody else is just like some random side character.
Instead they like have like just this insane cast of all these like character actors.
And that's the other thing that's kind of sad is
Wes Studi's in it. Like
Yeah, there's so many people in this movie.
Chris Penn. It's like
Jeremy
was in it?
Piven hairpiece.
Yeah, no plugs. Come on now.
Or
There's no way
plugs.
he didn't spring the money for.
But it's kind of like Sizemore and Kilmer and
Dennis Haysbert.
yeah. But I mean, like it's kind of sad because this was like a lot of people in their prime, and then 10 years later, and everyone, Val Kilmer hasn't done anything for
Yeah,
I think,
that's
for a
really
while.
sad.
And then I mean, even
Val Kilmer is in one of the greatest comedies ever made.
Top Secret is awesome.
Mud
yes.
Gruber.
No.
Yes,
no.
yes,
We're not going to
yes.
bring up celery
In
stuck
fact,
in the
all right,
butt.
I might just make you watch that next time I have a pick now.
Oh.
If you're gonna besmirch that.
I'm going to inhale some exhaust fumes before I come in
all-time
here.
classic.
All right, Cole.
He's so fat in that.
Yes,
What's your review?
well, obviously 4 stars, the highest rating I can give.
Is it like
What
one
do
of
you
your
mean it's the
favorite
highest
movies?
rating you
So
can
I-
give? There are billions and trillions of stars. We've established this.
Well, in the galaxy, yes, but not in terms of rating a
Not
movie.
in terms of your
Is it like one of your top 5 movies?
It's in the top 3. I still remember being a kid when my dad got the surround sound system installed and we had Heat on VHS
Oh, really?
back in the day, and they went on vacation or something somewhere, and I turned that up so loud I thought I was going to blow the subwoofer because it made me want to be a cop for a long time. But it's just
I can imagine.
Not an
I can just
highly
see a young
skilled thief.
Cole blowing
I'd be a
speakers
horrible
out.
thief.
Was it just the ending of it? That's another thing I liked about this movie. Was just like the absurd amount of skills that these thieves have. You know, they're just able to like
Oh, dude.
do all
I
this,
read.
like looking
Well,
at
but-
circuit schematics.
But I mean, you probably just assume that, you know, Sizemore is an electrician or something like
well, I mean, it's not
Listen to
like
this.
But
But
it's
it's
one of
always-
those things. Like, it's not only good people go to school. It's not true. I mean,
Well, I know.
Listen to this. Val Kilmer's gun handling skills were impressive. One of Heat's most iconic moments in the 10-minute shootout scene, which was filmed every
10
Saturday.
minutes? Nice.
Every Saturday and Sunday in downtown LA for 6 weeks. The actors trained with men from the British Special Air Services and the LA County
SAS.
Sheriff. Yeah, SAS. And the LA County Sheriff's combat shooting ranges. We did everything for real, man told Deadline. The actors got so good that the footage of Val Kilmer firing in 2 different directions and doing a reload without a cut, they used that at Fort Bragg for Special Forces training.
Yeah, to show. Yeah, I hear about that all the time. Everyone comments that it was like authentic in a
that did look real
firefight.
good.
It looked awesome.
It's like
And
the
I was-
whole shot looks like just really rad. He's just really smooth.
Yeah, he looked like he was a professional. But to your point about everyone having skills, like they got demo skills, like
Yeah.
But I mean,
wire cutting skills.
But I mean, it's one of those things. Like they were all like been career criminals. So I mean,
well, and
True.
true. And I mean, if Robert De Niro, you know, was a Navy SEAL, it stands to reason that, you know, some of the
never
others might
say
be
that.
trained. Yeah, they do.
See, I didn't catch that, and I know you said
it's
that.
the first
but
time when they're given
they're
Al Pacino
showing his like
documents in
his
the
rap sheet or
Yeah,
whatever.
and plus, Robert De Niro's got a Marine Corps tattoo on his shoulder when he wakes up in bed with the
I mean,
woman.
you've seen this movie more than me, so
I know that's why I'm pointing it out. I'm saying there's
This
background.
is my second viewing, and I enjoyed it a lot better this time. I think I watched it just because I don't know. Maybe I was in
you just
college.
fast forward it to the shootout. And you're like, this is so cool. And then you turn it
I
off.
think in college I took a couple film classes, and they, you know, obviously they talk about it, and I probably watched it, and I was like, yeah, that's good. But now I'm like, this is really good.
It's like the only thing that's dated in it is like the vehicles and the technology.
it's not dated at all. What are you talking about?
Those old school Oldsmobile cop cars from like
It's
Well,
it's an
car-
authentic
car-
period
of
piece.
Car 39. Where are you?
A lot of payphone usage and like
Payphones and-
beepers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like
the
stuff
beepers are the
that's
funniest
like
part. I love the pagers.
where like the plot hinges on like, you know, a stroke of luck for sure
Yeah.
as far as the investigation goes. But
Yeah, it seems like there were 2 like key points that the movie just wouldn't exist without
yeah,
the slick remark and the
the whole like
Waingro.
second plot.
letting Wayne grow.
Yeah.
Getting he was like choking him down there, getting ready to shoot him, and then he looks back at the cops. Oh,
yeah,
that
it kind of
made
sets
some
off
noise.
the whole chain of events of the whole
Yeah.
movie.
he's I mean, he's the MacGuffin of the film basically, and you can't kill the MacGuffin
Yeah.
right at the beginning of the movie. You got to let it play its course.
It's not a yeah.
What's his line?
What?
What did he
He's
say?
making a move. What,
he was
Waingro?
making a move,
man. I had to get it on.
I had to, yeah, I had to get it on.
Yeah, no, the Waingro character is incredible. Like, he's just
Is he in anything else?
I don't know.
He looks familiar, but I haven't. But a lot of the people from the '90s do.
I mean, he kind of looks like Nick Cage in Con Air. Like that's his haircut for sure.
but see, like, I mean, what's crazy is like with Collateral, Michael Mann and like Tom Cruise sat down and wrote out a whole backstory for Vincent and all his history. They don't really go over a lot of it, but it was the same with this too, where like Waingro's whole side story when they find his victim at the motel and she starts talking about how this is escalating into a serial killing and they've got another body, but they don't really go into it after that. But you're led to believe that he's done a lot of more, you know, horrible things.
That is kind of
Up until
cool
that
that there's
point.
like a serial killer like thread that keep wanting to call him Cosgrove, but
Waingro.
Winco.
Waingro's.
Waingro with a S, Waingro.
No, but that'll help you remember it.
Waingro.
Wayne's guards.
Like he's basically a serial killer, and they're trying to find a serial.
Yeah, they never go into how they hired him. That's kind of they really dropped the ball there.
Yeah, he's
But
a
it's kind of
loose
funny
cannon
because-
for sure.
But I mean, if it hinges on luck too, at the same time, it's like, why did they need this 5th man for this 4-man crew at the beginning when they could have easily done it with 4 people? Like he's there just to move the plot along, even though if they didn't hire him for that job, they
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
done it without him.
I'm not like criticizing. It's clearly a movie.
Oh, I know. That's what I mean. It's just
In fact, if it were like a real life,
he's the MacGuffin of the
thing, it'd be like,
film because
yeah, well, made it off with the money, and we
Yeah.
killed one or two of them, and the other ones got away.
they'd still be robbing.
Well, I give it a golden bucket for sure. You should. I mean, okay. A couple things, I think we should all say why should you watch this? I say yes. You guys?
I say yes.
I don't think anyone should watch movies, really. I think about it. I mean, everything's just a waste of time.
But
I don't know what we should be doing, but
All right, Debbie Downer.
this is what we're doing, man.
Which
everyone should be not watching movies. I don't know, reading.
Everybody should be having family time.
But if you don't like 23 deaths, lots of shootout, a couple of shoot,
lots of cursing,
some cursing.
But I mean,
it's pretty tame as far as
there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of scenes where they're just talking about
a lot of making out, but nothing more explicit than that, which is actually another thing that made it feel like a TV thing.
Al Pacino makes out, and we get De Niro making out. So if you like to watch them kiss,
there's a lot of making out.
And then there's a lot of...
No nudity, though. Not that I can think of.
There's a lot of spousal abuse with Val Kilmer, if you're into that kind of thing.
No, it's...
Verbal.
Well, I was going to say, like,
verbally
very,
tormenting.
very, very, like, it's a very unhealthy marriage.
But, I mean, you should watch it because it's a very integral action film that inspired a lot of movies that came after it. Action thriller.
Give it its due. It's due.
If you were to watch the Dark Knight, that opening bank robbery scene with the Joker was a homage to Heat in the way they filmed that.
There's so many movies.
Oh,
I feel like they remake Heat every 5 years. Like
it's
The
usually
Town,
pretty bad. Yeah, The Town for
Den
sure.
of Thieves. You're referencing The Dark Knight.
What's Den of Thieves?
Dude, if you haven't seen Den of Thieves, go watch it on Netflix.
It's on Netflix and it's
trash.
Isn't it not good?
It's
Is
good.
that the one with Ben Affleck and Oscar Isaac?
No,
Isn't that the one with Gerard Butler?
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, I've heard it's
is
not
the Al
good.
Pacino character. No, it's good. You should
No,
watch it.
no.
Get on the internets and watch it.
Oh, I'm thinking of Triple Frontier.
No, Den of
That
Thieves.
was actually that might actually be what I'm thinking of.
It's got Oscar Isaac and Ben Affleck.
That
in
is
it.
Aren't they
is
all
Triple
operators?
Frontier.
Yeah, they're
Okay, then maybe
they
I'm
used to be
thinking something
commandos or something.
But Gerard Butler isn't in Triple Frontier.
No, I know, but that's the one I was thinking.
There's so
of.
many
I was getting
things on
mixed up.
Netflix that I just said.
I mean,
like there's that Hemsworth action movie that came out that everyone said was
Extraction.
good. Yeah,
I want to see that too.
I can't keep up, man.
Den of Thieves.
I want to know how bad Six Underground was. I don't want to watch it, but I want to know how over the top.
I watched it, and
Is it bad? I only want to see it because Melanie's in it.
I felt like, and this is probably another podcast, but I felt like if I could just watch a highlight reel, it would be
You'd give the same
super
effect.
cool.
What movie?
It's this
Six
Ryan
Underground.
Reynolds Netflix movie that Michael Bay directed.
Oh yeah. No,
They're like stitching, different set pieces and sequences together with the
Like a
dialogue. It's
Transformers
like,
movie.
what is going on?
I don't
What are they
care
doing
much for
again?
Michael Bay selling out and doing a Netflix film. No, big screen.
There's some really cool
explosions and
stuff in
dome.
there, but yeah, I don't know. It wasn't. I wouldn't highly rate that one. But anyway, so yeah,
Side quest.
if
Side
you-
quest completed.
So those are the reasons why you should watch this. Reasons why you
Great
shouldn't.
writing, great directing, great
Yeah.
acting all around. Very intense. 3 hours feels like 30 minutes, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it doesn't drag. Like there's always stuff happening.
Yeah, and the dialogue doesn't feel
Forced at all.
forced. Like it's really good. All right, any parting thoughts?
I remember really hating Al Pacino's wife when I saw this the first time.
That is correct.
I feel like that. I mean, I don't know. We don't get enough, but it's like, come on. It's like, why does Al Pacino get married 3 times? That's like another thing. This is like a deeper question about like people and.
Maybe, I mean, he
It's like he knows why these marriages fail, and he keeps getting married. Like
But-
he knows why. He knows why the last 2 didn't work out, and why this one isn't working out. Like
that's how bored he gets because he takes down one crew, has nothing to do, so then he gets married, but then another crew
it's like,
pops
is it-
up.
maybe it's like for
then he
career
neglects his wife while he
purposes.
goes back
Like,
to work.
You
and
can't get promotions in the police force without like being like a.
well, but it's
no,
boring.
it's those police party, the balls that they have to go to, and you have to have someone.
The gala.
The galas. I say
having, like,
balls.
a normal
The gala balls.
The gala
nuclear
balls.
family, look, it's my lovely wife. But yeah, like it's like the idea that like you would make the same mistake in every marriage. It's like why are you doing? Why are you getting married? I don't know. It's a deeper
Some people
question
just
about
can't.
people.
Some
Yeah, no.
people can't be alone with themselves.
Yeah, I know, but it's it's like.
It's the same.
It's like, okay, like that first marriage didn't work out because I am too devoted to this job.
It's
so
either-
I'm
it's-
not going to change that. I'm just going to get married again, and apparently she will not.
It's either 3 marriages or you wind up with 10 cats. You pick the lesser of 2 evils. Okay.
Well, I think
Man,
that's
that would be really funny. If
Or
there was
you
an
wind up
alternate
on
version of this where he had 10 cats and nothing else going on in his life.
Or you wind up on 90 Day Fiance and then you get made fun of.
oh
Just
no,
too
don't
devoted
start
to
there.
taking down sickos.
Well, you get three yeses from us.
Unanimous across the board.
Go check it out.
The A's have it.
It's worth your
I
time.
mean, if you don't like long movies, then I don't know that.
If you're, yeah.
What are you going to do?
It's
It's hard to like really point like what to take out, especially like some of the things that seem pretty minor early on. They like
Well,
the whole movie hinges on
But at the end, I
key
mean,
ways.
I think it's at the end, it's trying to show you that both people are human. So you're torn between wanting to see Robert De Niro get away or Al Pacino,
Yeah.
actually succeed.
That is something that I thought about a lot.
You get so involved in both
The
their lives.
protagonist.
Yeah.
Who are you rooting for here?
Yeah, and all the side characters that by the end of the film, you're like, it's intense because you want both of them to succeed, but only one of them can. So you're like torn between, who should I root for here? And it gets you really invested in the show.
That's good. So I maybe I take that back. Some of the stuff that I would have wanted to get cut out really helped sell the last sequence. So anyway, there you have it.
All pieces for the ultimate puzzle.
1995 Heat by Michael Mann. Check it out. We'll see you next time.